Hey y'all, hey. Um, I'm getting ready to do something right now that typically I am very against to some levels. Like I have two sides of me. I have the side of me that says your story is yours, so tell it. And I also have the side of me that says, you know what? No, I don't have that side. It's my story to tell, so I'm going to tell it. So, oops, let me move my camera back some. So, as many of you know, um, I have become my grandmother's full-time caregiver. In becoming my grandmother's full-time caregiver, I got introduced to family members that I have known my whole life that I didn't know had certain things in them. I have had a lot of mental health issues as a result of that because I didn't understand like why my family could be moving how they were moving, right? At first the anger was, why are my grandmother's children and other grandchildren abandoning her? Right? Oh, I'm digging in my nose. It's just itchy. Um, the first thought was I didn't know why my grandmother's children were and grandchildren were abandoning her, and that was like hurt, mad, anger, whatever for a really long time, and then it morphed into I don't know why in the hell, even if you don't want to help her, you wouldn't help me help her. If I'm the caregiver that's saying I'm taking on 85% of the work, why wouldn't you want to help me, right? So this person put a comment right here, and I've seen that comment a few times. Someone also posted this story on Instagram, and it was kind of a few, not many, because it was 99.9999999% of just love, but there were a few questions, a few things that kind of was like, you don't even know you don't know the story. So I'm gonna give you the story. When I took over my grandmother's care, there wasn't an opportunity to really have a real deep sit down family meeting because, let me put it on do not disturb. Oops. Okay. Because of the circumstances surrounding how I ended up caring for my grandmother. I'm going to be as gentle with this as possible and considerate of everyone else involved in what I'm about to say. I also firmly do not believe in telling someone else's story. That is their story to tell. If they don't want to tell it, it shouldn't be told. I'm only going to tell the parts of the story that involve or that I'm involved in, because then it's my story. And I'm still going to protect, people's privacy. And so here we go. There was an incident that happened with my grandmother and I, probably like 6, 7-ish years ago. Up until that point, I have kind of, I'm not even going to go that far back. No, I'm not. I'm not even going to go that far back. No. I'm not. So, fast forwarding. I'm not going into that. I get a phone call from Adult Protective Services saying that where my grandmother currently was unsafe. I had not really been into her house or been at her house in a really, really long time for personal reasons that I'm not going to go into to just protect everybody's privacy. But I didn't. I stopped going for a reason. It wasn't because of her. There was other reasons. But when I got that phone call, I went over there and I saw the status of my grandmother's house. And it was crazy. It was wild. It was unsafe. And so I understood why I was made aware of that. I tried to, before I brought her here to live with me, I tried to rally up the troops, my grandmother's village, for us to all go over there and get her house in a livable condition. So there was like, I don't know, 15 of us went over there one Sunday morning, and we stayed all day. And it became very clear, like, we're going to need way more than just this little bit of time to clean the house. And even once it was all said and done, my grandmother said to me, please don't leave me here. So I didn't. I brought her home with me. And she's been with me ever since. So the reason that there was no big family meeting, because there was no time for that. She needed immediate placement. And while we were at the house on that Sunday, we all had this quick little impromptu family meeting about what's going to happen with her care moving forward. Her eldest daughter, my aunt, while we were having this meeting, walked out of the room, and shortly thereafter, she left. We were all still trying to figure out what we were going to do moving forward with my grandmother, her daughter. And there's another thing. I've heard a lot of people ask, like, what was the nature of their relationship? So my grandmother has 2 children, my mother and my aunt. My aunt and my grandmother have always been exceptionally close, which is one of the reasons why I went at her so hard, is because this is your mother, like, and you've been close to her. Why are you all of a sudden acting so weird? And so I guess I had, expectations of her that she wasn't willing to meet. I didn't know that at the time. But when she left, while we were still trying to kind of plan a course of action, I just thought, well, maybe she's got somewhere to go. It's not personal. She's got somewhere to be. Fine. I didn't know that there was anything. Well, I'll take that back. Ugh, sorry, allergies. I didn't know that there was anything wrong that I just recently found out in that moment, but I knew something was off, and I could not put my finger on it. I have always had a very close relationship with, well, I won't say always. I would say age somewhere in my 30s up until this event. I'll be 45 next month. So I would say somewhere in there would be just a guesstimate. We've always been very close. I would call her. She knew that I had a very strained relationship with my mother. She also had a very strained relationship with her sister, my mom. They've never gotten along. And I'm not going to go into that because, again, that's someone else's story to tell. But I'm only telling you that little piece because it's important to the story that I'm getting ready to tell. Uh-oh. Looks like this is going to have to be a part 2. I'm not even going to edit this. I'm just going to upload it. And part 2 come in immediately following. I'm going to film it now. Bye.